Hi guys, we are in week 4 of second semester junior English. So we're going to be starting, sorry, did I say week 4? It's actually week 3. I'm getting ahead of myself. Week 3 of junior English second semester. Whew. So we're going to be starting a new unit. In this unit, at the end of this unit is going to be like 4 weeks. You guys are going to write a personal essay about kind of like a moment in your life and how you have pursued happiness, learned from it. It's going to be an essay. It's just a 5-paragraph essay for your next embedded assessment. That'll happen in like 4 weeks. So all of the assignments that we're going to be doing kind of lead up to that. We're also going to be reading a book called Into the Wild, so you might want to go get that. We don't start that book this week. But if you wanted to start that book this week and start reading it, it might do you some good because the course guide, which we got from Spokane Public Schools, I didn't create it, and I will apologize in advance, but the reading is a lot at one time. So we have like 2 weeks to get through this book, Into the Wild. So if you wanted to start reading it this week to save yourself a little bit of grief in the next coming weeks, that might be a good thing to do. And I'll do some modifications with the course guide in the next couple weeks also because I think that's just quite a bit of work. So you don't have to start the book this week, but you might want to. It's actually a pretty good book. So activity 4.1, Springboard activity 4.1, just wants you to preview the assessment. So your assessment, your job is going to be to write a reflective essay about a significant personal experience that you've had. That involves the pursuit of happiness or something you really wanted to do. This whole pursuit of happiness was really big with these people called the Transcendentalists. So the Transcendentalists are a group of people, writers primarily, at least for our sake, but a group of people who believed in getting rid of everything and just pursuing what made you happy, living very simply so you can be happy. So that's kind of what they did, and we're going to study them a little bit this week and in the weeks to come. So Springboard activity in 4.1 says to do a graphic organizer with your class and all this stuff. We're not going to do that. I just want you to answer the 2 questions on the announcements and assignments that I have. First question, what does it mean to pursue happiness? What do you think? You don't have to do any research or dig deep or anything, just what do you think that means? Second question, how can a writer use or manipulate genre conventions for effect? So how does a writer like include stuff in their writing to make a bigger effect? What might an author do to make things seem bigger or amplify certain things that they're trying to say? What are some literary techniques they might use to do that? All right, so really no right or wrong answers for those, you just need to answer them. Second thing on here, Springboard Activity 4.2, you are going to read the following passage. It's in Springboard Activity 4.2, so you can pull up that activity and read it, or I've got it right here in the announcements for you. It was short enough that I just included it. So you're going to read this passage, and you are going to identify concepts that seem central to the character's worldview. So what things are said in this passage that tell you what this character must think about the world and living in it? So read this, and I want you to find 3 things that you can tell about this character that they would include in their worldview, about what do they believe about pursuing happiness. Write down those 3 things that you could see in that paragraph. Then you are going to read from Self-Reliance. That's in the Springboard Activity 4.2, so you will need to pull it up to read this. As you read, I want you to be watching for when the author states a strong opinion, when they have a very strong opinion that they're writing down in their text. Then you're going to do this writing prompt. So somehow like underline or highlight or write down when they have an opinion. Write down that opinion because you're going to need it in this paragraph that you're going to write here pretty soon. So you're going to pick 2 or 3 lines from that passage from Self-Reliance that state a strong opinion, and you are going to tell me whether or not you agree with those opinions, okay? So you can follow this format. I've given you a format here in addition to the writing prompt that they have given you in the Springboard activity. In your topic sentence, tell me whether you agree or disagree with what the author is saying, or maybe you agree with some of it but not this one thing, all right? So topic sentence just says whether you agree or disagree with the opinions from Self-Reliance. Then you're going to have a text detail, which is just a quote. So quote one of the opinions. In paragraph such and such, he says da 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 da. Then you're going to have your commentary. So this is where you tell me whether or not you disagree, but don't just say that. You've got to tell me why. Why do you agree or disagree? Then you're going to do that again. Give me another text detail where he stated an opinion. And then in the commentary, tell me why you do or do not agree with that. And then one last time, a third opinion that he has, and then why you agree or disagree. And then in your conclusion, you're just going to highlight your opinion and whether you agreed or disagreed. This is written by Ralph Waldo Emerson. He was a transcendentalist. So you will start seeing some of the beliefs that transcendentalists had, some of the things that were central to their happiness, all right? So be thinking about whether the ideas that were central to their happiness are the same as yours. They may or may not be. Then we are going to move on to Springboard Activity 4.3. We are going to do a little bit of research, and I'm modifying this quite a bit from the Springboard activity, so just do what I've got here on the announcements, all right? So you can do your own research. You can Google or look up anything you want to look up, or I've given you a few resources here. So there's an article I found at this website. You could go to that website. There is a YouTube video on Thoreau. He was also another very big transcendentalist. Thoreau and Emerson were like the big time transcendentalists. So there's a YouTube video there about Thoreau. It's like 5 minutes long, I think, and what he believed and what he did. And then there's also the article that Emerson wrote from Self-Reliance, which we just read in Springboard Activity 4.2. So you can look at all those, you can do your own research, but I want you to fill in this graphic organizer. This graphic organizer is going to help us kind of outline what the transcendentalists believe. So you're going to go through, like, first question, what is their view of God? So after you do some research, tell me, what is their view of God? Write that in the answer column and tell me what your source was. Maybe it was the YouTube video I gave you. Maybe it was Emerson's From Self-Reliance. Maybe it was the website I gave you, whatever. And then you're going to pull the quote from that source that gave you that answer, all right? So you're going to fill in this graph while doing some research on the transcendentalists, okay? So do that. The Springboard activity says that you're going to create a poster and do a graphic organizer and all this stuff. Just fill in that graphic organizer with your own research, all right? Nothing else has to happen. So that's it for this week, all right? I think that's very doable, but if you run into problems, let me know. I'm here to help you guys. So make sure you reach out to me if you need to. I want us all to get off on a really good start to second semester. So let's make this third weekend really successful, all right? I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.